United States charges linking a government employee to an assassination plot against a Sikh Separatist leader are concerning. Parikshit Luthra is standing by now to take us through more on this fresh diplomatic row. Parikshit, thanks very much for joining us. Now, you know, what we have seen is court documents that have come in from the US overnight, which basically detail an attempted assassination, linking the assassination to a gentleman who they claim, as per those documents, is linked to the Indian government.
Well, it's a very comprehensive, detailed 15-page indictment that has been opened in a US court. It clearly mentions that a 52-year-old called Nikhil Gupta, or Nick Gupta, was actually hired by an Indian government employee. It goes on to say that this Indian government employee orchestrated or directed the attack from Indian soil against a Khalistani separatist on US soil. So Nikhil Gupta was hired by this Indian government employee. There was a quid pro quo to this, according to the indictment documents in court, and that was that in case he's able to carry out this assassination successfully, the criminal case against him in the state of Gujarat would be taken care of. This was the assurance given to Nikhil Gupta. Following that, he reached out to criminal associates, according to the court documents, and these criminal associates actually turned out to be US officials, sources and officials working with the US Drug Enforcement Agency. There was a very detailed vigilance and surveillance operation that was carried out. And finally, there were pictures also taken of money exchanging hands between the parties. And those pictures are there in the indictment documents. Finally, on the 30th of June, Nikhil Gupta, who was traveling to the Czech Republic, was arrested. We don't know where he is currently, but there is an extradition treaty between Czech Republic and the United States of America. The US attorney has called this very, very serious and said that the US government will hold all people accountable to this. The White House has sought action from the Indian government. India has reacted not just to what the US indictment has said, but also what the Canadians have said today in terms of the fact that these documents have now come up in a US court. This only underscores the point that the Indian government must act. So the Canadian government is also putting more pressure on India. India has expressed concern at the US indictment, not commenting on it directly, but also going on to say that we've instituted our own inquiry. We'll get to the bottom of this, but this is not our policy. We do not carry out such conspiracies on foreign soil.
The news coming out of the United States further underscores what we've been talking about from the very beginning, which is that India needs to take this seriously. The Indian government needs to work with us to ensure that we're getting to the bottom of this. This is not something that anyone can take lightly. Our responsibility is to keep Canadians safe.
As regards the case against an individual that has been filed in a US court, allegedly linking him to an Indian official, this is a matter of concern. We have said, and let me reiterate, that this is also contrary to government policy. The nexus between organized crime, trafficking, gun running, and extremists at an international level is a serious issue for law enforcement agencies and organizations to consider. And it is precisely for that reason that a high-level inquiry committee has been constituted, and we will obviously be guided by its results.
Well, that is the Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson saying that a high-level inquiry committee has been set up to look into the allegations being made by the US. On to the latest in the Israel-Hamas war.